Rob?
Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we're taking a look at the Justice League Martian Manhunter from the DC Comics New 52 action figure. Again, this is from DC Collectibles, like I just said a second ago, because I feel the need to repeat myself. Was very much wanting to get a hold of this figure, and I think the initial release date had a release date of July 31st. It was supposed to be way into the month, but when I went to my local comic book store, as I am kicking the camera, I apologize, as I went to my local comic book store to pick up my comic books on the 3rd of July, the guy behind the counter said, "Hey, we've got your Martian Manhunter figure." And I said, "Wow, really?" Was kind of unprepared to pick him up. So what I ended up doing is picking up the 3 or 4 comics that I was going to pick up that day, and then drove home, grabbed my little stash of cash that I had been saving for some of these DC Collectibles figures, because I've pre-ordered quite a few of the ones that are being released, and went back home, grabbed the cash, and then came back into town and picked up Martian Manhunter. And he just looks great in package. Really, really excited to get this guy out of package. You can kind of see him in there. It's one of those, as good as he looks in the package, I'm sure he's going to be even better out of the package once we can get him out here. And there's another shot of the figure, and is sculpted by Paul Ramirez. And I always like these panel art. This one isn't as good as some of the other Justice League members. Kind of the silhouette, you can kind of see Superman's shield back there. Of course, there was no art that Jim Lee did of Martian Manhunter or Green Arrow, but still, they rendered it pretty faithfully. We'll take a look at the top of the package here. Let's zoom into this. It says Martian Manhunter is a stranger to Earth, but not justice. Straight from the pages of DC Comics, the New 52, Martian Manhunter has vowed to fight his new home as one of the newest members of the Justice League of America. And you can see, this is, of course, Collect Them All, and the other set of figures that are coming out I'm really kind of disappointed in are 2-packs. You can get Justice League, The Flash, and Vibe 2-pack, and then Justice League, Katana, and Wonder Woman 2-pack. Wonder Woman and Flash, respectively, are the exact same as the 2 figures down here below. They're just coming with Katana and Vibe. Now, what I would have done is, you would assume at this point people that have been collecting the New 52 figures already have these 2 figures, like this guy right here. So why do I want to go out and buy 2 2-packs and get 2 figures that are exactly the same? Now later on they're going to be releasing the Flash again in a new 7-pack, and he will be a little different sculpted, and Wonder Woman is going to come out in a Trinity pack, and she's going to have a different head sculpt. So that might be a little bit of a reason to maybe pick these 2 up, but in this current 2-pack, these are the exact same 2 figures. So if you have this Wonder Woman already and this Flash, it's kind of a drag because you're paying more money only to get Vibe and Katana. So I'm probably going to pass on these 2 figures unless they come out as single individual figures, which I'm hoping that is what's going to happen. But if I was somebody that bought these 2 2-packs and sucked it up and said, okay, I'll just get these 2, and then later they come out with these 2 figures separately, I'd be a little upset. So I'm going to go off and either get them on eBay, that somebody's probably going to break the sets down, or wait till a 2-pack or till they come out individually and get them that way. Something that I think DC Collectibles could have done if they were doing 2-packs is put these 2, Vibe and Katana, together in a 2-pack and do somebody else in a 2-pack. But then again, they may be going, well, maybe somebody was waiting, and so I get all of that, but I would assume most of people that are buying the DC Collectibles versions already have these figures, and we're slowly building up our Justice Leagues, if you will. And then you could see the standard 7 Justice League members, which I have. I've since thought about getting this as Chapman Films refers to him, as a bitch face Superman. I kind of like that one, but I'm glad with the one that I have. And of course, the We Can Be Heroes art there. There's the silhouettes that Jim Lee drew for that. So enough of the packaging. It's very green, much like the Green Lantern's green was. But we will get Mr. John Jones out of package. We'll drop the camera down here. And we will get Martian Manhunter out of package. I can't wait. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back. Here's the silhouette of the box. It's a lime green. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but you can see it's just the same background art that all the Justice League figure boxes have had at this point. It's just a lime green. So we'll get into the figure itself here right now. Alright, we've got Martian Manhunter out of package. I really like the figure, but there are some things about the figure I'm just a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, because I don't want to dismay anybody from getting it, but I do have a few issues here or there. I don't feel that he is painted on as par with the other Justice League members, and I have all the rest of them off to the side. I'll bring up, you know, one or two of them in a like color scheme and things, and we'll kind of compare that way. But I do like him overall. I think he is a decently done, a very well sculpted figure. I just think in the paint department is where he's really kind of lacking. We'll adjust the camera here just ever so slightly to get him in frame. It almost feels a little rushed in spots. I don't know if the camera is able to pick it up, but some of the plastic just kind of doesn't look quite right. I don't know if you can tell in like his tunic here, if the camera can really pick it up at all, which I guess is probably pretty good that it's, you can only really see it with the naked eye, but kind of like right in here it looks a little dingy, kind of like, you know, like I've had this guy for a very long time, and I don't think you can even really tell in the camera. But there just seems to be just a little bit of grime to him. And maybe that is, maybe it's supposed to be that way with him being an alien. They gave him this little dirty wash to it, but the wash, as you can kind of see here, a little bit, it looks a little pitted. Like I've taken the figure and I've, you know, rubbed him on the table or something like that. Not necessarily the dent marks there, because those are supposed to be there, but these markings right here look like, as I have something white on my finger, it looks like it's been scratched and worn out. You can kind of see how it's two-toned right there. Again, I hope this is just my figure, or I wish it wasn't just my figure, but just a few minor things that kind of take a little bit of the enjoyment away, because every figure up to this point has just been absolutely fantastic. In around his rib cage a little bit, I think this might be more of just the texture of his skin, but it looks a little dirty. Again, I don't know if that's from the paint application. It's like they're trying to make him look alienish and not like this perfect green skin, so that could be part of it. The cape, kind of see these plastic ripple marks in the cape, which I have not noticed that on Superman or Batman's cape at all. You can kind of see the markings in here. I don't know if the plastic didn't cure right. I mean, it's good, but just a few minor little things that's kind of a little bit of a bummer. You can kind of see on the arm here I have some white either shining through, or, you know, just a couple minor things. I almost sound probably a little bummed, and I think I am just a little bit. It's one of the first figures I've been kind of disappointed paint application. Sculpting wise, it's fantastic, flawless, but just in the paint application department, Should have he come out the 31st? Did they rush to try and get these out, or did I just happen to get one of the bad batch of figures? I'm really kind of hoping that's the case, and hopefully nobody else out there has the experience that I do with the figure. But let's get a zoom into the face here. Come on. I think that is a great, great looking face. Updated Martian Manhunter's head just a little bit in the new 52, kind of gave him these like alien ridges here. I just love the look of this figure, and the black eyes. The whites of the eyes are black, and the red pupils just look very piercing and very menacing. I like the symbol. The symbol close up, it does look like it's off to the left a little bit, or off to the right. His left, your right. So it's not exactly centered. I was looking through some artwork. It should be dead on straight. So again, use a ruler, folks, when you're painting. But I still think it's a really good figure, and he's going to look great standing up here. I'm glad that I have him. I'm just a little disappointed that the attention to detail wasn't quite given what he was due. I do have another issue. You'll be able to see his feet here. If you can tell that he's perfectly straight, but this foot is bending, is more flat, and this one's kind of bending up. So I don't know if I'm supposed to bend his knee back just a little bit so it looks like he's walking. But since we're on to bending of the foot, let's look at the articulation. He does have a very nice ball jointed head that he can get a good range of, you know, articulation and expression out of it. Probably the best, and his head can rock from side to side, back and forth, and of course will rotate all the way around. Arms are on the nice hinge swivel there. Back and forth, it would go full 360. Turn at the bicep here. Bend at the very stiff elbow. Kind of almost has the dark side clicking thing where there's different positions for it, so you don't hear the click as loud as like you do in dark side. There is no waist swivel at all. I have a tunic is only one side. It's nice pliable rubber here, so it's not going to get in the way at all. Legs go forward and back. Bend at the knee, and for the first time for DC Collectibles we have a swivel at the boot. So very, very cool. All that's really kind of missing is for the legs to come out on some type of T-joint like the Mattel figures, and we would have a very, very articulated DC Collectibles figure. So it's kind of like they're taking the best from a little bit of everybody, and these DC Collectible figures are really starting to get very, very good articulation. Most of my figures are going to be standing on their shelves, on my shelf, and I have them on this Young Justice diorama here. We'll kind of see everybody else standing together. But what I want to do real quick is I'm going to bring up something else. We'll pause the camera real quick. Hopefully he will stay on this table. We'll be right back in just a second. Something I'm going to do on this channel for the DC Collectibles Justice League figures. Kind of a tip to the hat to a Chapman Films. This is the segment I'm going to do for these type of figures of Darkseid saying, "Here, let me lend you a hand." There you are. This is a unique view. Taking a look at his feet, he's standing much better on a nice flat surface than this table that I have here. It's basically this card table with a cloth over it. So when I've got him on my normal base here, what I normally review the action figures on, he stands really well. His knee does have to be bent just a little bit because of the way they have sculpted this foot, but he's not going to, you know, really topple over. It does look like it's turned in just a little bit. That could be just my figure. I'm not sure. So as you can tell, his knee right here, if I get my stupid hand out of the way, I do have to have his knee bent just a little bit to be able to make him. Alright, I threw Batman up here real quick, and you can just kind of tell in just these two figures that the colors are a lot brighter and a little bit more focused on Batman. I don't have any of the, you know, plastic molding issues on the cape. The colors are nice, bright, and solid, and Martian Manhunter is a little bit toned down. So I don't know if they just were using different processes on Martian Manhunter. And what I'd like to do is bring up Green Arrow here real quick. People just keep falling over. So here is Green Arrow, and again you can kind of see, even just from Green Arrow to Batman, it's a little bit of the mix of both, where you still have some of the brighter almost emerald green and glossy greens and blacks in their respective outfits here, and Martian Manhunter is mostly in a flat muted. Now I could kind of see that with Martian Manhunter, as you know, he's an alien, he's wearing just normal clothes, but even Batman's normal clothes are a little bit on the glossy side. But then again, Green Arrow's pants and greens are a little bit more muted with some of the metallic in. So now that we have some of the Justice League members up here, let's bring everybody else from the band in here. And here's everybody else from the Justice League. Of course, I always have Damian on my DC-UC shelf, since he is in the correct scale and size, and I put him with Batman. But the rest of the Justice League members, as it were, and I have them with my Justice League, or Young Justice, excuse me, Hall of Justice diorama. I think they look really good on it. A Martian Manhunter is a very much welcomed addition to the Justice League. He's going to look great on the shelf. I just have to figure out how and where on the shelf he's going to be standing. This isn't the way they kind of stand on my shelf. Superman is normally up in the front. I kind of have the Trinity up front, if you will, and move everybody else kind of accordingly to the back. And of course I have Darkseid up there, and I wonder where Darkseid is. Okay, and there's Darkseid. He's so big he can't even get into frame. So this is all of my Justice League New 52 DC Collectibles figures. And I'm liking where the line is going. I have not picked up Simon Baz yet. I'm still kind of unsure if I want to pick up Simon Baz. I think I probably might. But then again, at this point, I don't have any way of getting Katana or Vibe, since they're in a 2-pack with 2 other figures that I already have, unless I buy those 2 figures and then sell the other ones off. I don't know yet. But I do like Martian Manhunter. There's just a few things that I would have liked to have seen for the paint applications done just a little bit better on him. Again, I hope it's just my figure, but it's not too horrible that I say, oh, pass on this figure, forget about it, don't get him. I think he's a great looking figure, and he's going to look awesome. And he does look awesome with the rest of the Justice League. So hopefully you guys have liked this. Let's back this puppy out. We'll get everybody into frame here as best as we can get everybody into frame. So today we've been taking a look at Martian Manhunter from a DC Collectibles. He just came out 2 days ago, depending on when you're watching this, July 3rd. Today is July 4th. Happy 4th of July. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.